All religions are misogynistic. This is part one of a new series that I'm starting, and today we are spreading the sexist gospel of Christianity. The Bible makes its views on women very clear from its Genesis, literally. Chapter 3, verse 16 reads, "Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." The context of this verse is God telling Eve, as well as all future women, their punishment for going against his orders and eating the forbidden fruit. But Adam's punishment had nothing to do with autonomy or desire. No, no, no. He's a man. His punishment was about agriculture and the hardships of farming. And if we skip to 1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 34, it forbids women from speaking or inquiring in church, and that it's disgraceful to do so. They should just go home and ask their husbands instead. Ephesians 5:22 provides explicit instructions for a Christian household and tells women they should submit to their husbands as they would their Lord, while verse 25 tells husbands to love their wives like the Lord loved them. Colossians 3:18 to 19 says the exact same thing. Why the distinction in vernacular here? This isn't just semantics at this point. These are deliberate choices of words to bring about very different meanings. Titus chapter 2 verse 5 tells older women to teach younger ones to be subject to their husbands. And again, verse 6 to 8 has nothing like that for the men. And again, 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1 and 6 tells women to submit to their husbands the same way Sarah obeyed Abraham, her Lord. The idea of female submission doesn't come from cherry-picked verses or mistranslations. This is a well-documented thing and appears in teachings that span across the New and Old Testament. Even outside of a marital context, women are forbidden to teach men or to assume authority on them. 1 Timothy 2:11 to 12 states that very clearly. But you're not giving the context. Okay, 2 verses down, you'll literally see the Bible's rationale for this. Because it was Eve, the silly female, who got tricked by the serpent. The silly female who influenced Adam to do the same. The silly female who can only be saved by bearing children. What the hell are these verses? If I were to come out tomorrow and try to push these teachings on the people would call me a bigoted piece of shit, and rightfully so. Christianity continues to stand because it's been so ingrained into our culture and society that people don't even stop to question it. And these verses make even less sense when you look at a verse like Galatians 3:28 that reads, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." Well, based on everything else we can see, it's clear that the Christian rhetoric doesn't believe in gender equality. I'm sure that as time has changed, so have the practices in churches worldwide. Women can obviously speak and ask questions in church, and there are women holding positions of authority in our society. But that doesn't change the fact that the belief these Christians subscribe to is rooted in misogyny. And by the way, these verses are just the tip of the iceberg. This video could be an hour long if I were to sit here and read through every single one of the misogynistic verses. In fact, I'll put up another 5 verses on screen that objectify women and permit the sale of them, and even try to justify the rape of them through monetary compensation. Theistic apologists love to bring up the rebuttal of historical norms, that it's unfair to judge ancient teachings with the metrics of our modern progressive world. But how could the words of an omniscient and omnibenevolent God become outdated? That simply doesn't track. And furthermore, I thought the point of the New Testament was to create a new covenant between God and the humans. I thought Christians said that the rules and teachings of the Old Testament don't apply anymore. That sorry excuse not only doesn't erase the harm that God explicitly permitted, it also fails. Because as you can see, the New Testament is no better. Do we need a newer testament that says, hey, maybe women aren't just accessories to men? Women and men alike, please ask yourself, do you really think that these are the teachings of an all-loving God? A God that supposedly loves us all equally? Or could it be that religion was shoved into our society for ease of control, and to this day remains the greatest catalyst for patriarchy this world has ever seen?